So I think we're going to watch this Piers Morgan and Megyn Kelly. It's actually Megyn Kelly's show. She's going to fry a lot of these, but they're both going to fry. Oh boy. These comedians. Hold on. Let me bring it up full screen for y'all. Let's take a listen to this. Let's take a listen to this. Then I think we're going to look at The View after this, or we'll look at Sanks after this. Let me press play.
Fox, and you were back in the day when I was on the prime time of Fox and you were on the prime time of CNN. A couple of hours after our shows ended, late night comics would come on, and they occasionally would make us laugh, Piers. I mean, occasionally they understood that they were in the game of making everyone laugh. As you know, they've abandoned that game now, and they're just political operatives out there. Colbert, Kimmel, Seth Meyers, who I struggle to even mention that guy's name. He's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway, it's just my thought bubble out loud. We took a look at some of their reactions to the news of Trump's win. Look at this.
Hey there. How are you doing? If you watch the show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest. It was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women.
I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest. It was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
My fault. All right, my bad. All right, I'm muted after Colbert. Think about this. We have men. On here. My apologies. When you see men like this, you would teach a 7 or 8-year-old. A 7 or 8-year-old, we would teach that if they lose their games, that they need to respond and not throw temper tantrums, not get upset, not do all these things. They're not men, pixie dusted. You can ask my parents. I was one of those kids that threw temper tantrums whenever I lost games. I used to throw temper tantrums if I lost a game, if I got a bad score on a test. I was that kid. So now we have grown men, millionaires. Their life is great, trying to convince us that it's okay for us to be depressed, that it's okay for us to be sad, to be miserable, all these different things. If you were giving advice to a 7, 8-year-old that was throwing a temper tantrum and crying over a game, what would we say? My parents used to tell me, Dak, we understand that you're passionate about it. We understand that you care a lot about it, but it's just a game. We don't want you to be losing or to impact the rest of your day. It's all good. These men are throwing temper tantrums for the world to see. And why? It's because our culture has become completely emasculated. They're draining every bit of testosterone that we have in our, and this, what's so mind-boggling is these are the things that women complain about. This is why women shouldn't be telling men how we need to move, how we need to behave, how we need to heal ourselves. This is why, Because women, I go back to that phone call. Some of y'all may have been on here that are listening right now. I go back to that what's it called? The Clubhouse that we had 3 years ago, where I'm arguing with everybody on that Clubhouse call, where they're talking about, toxic masculinity. Men need to be a little more softer, more vulnerable, more understanding, tap into their feminine energy, be comfortable enough. A real man is comfortable enough to tap into this. And I'm sitting here saying, like, are y'all kidding me? Ladies, especially, y'all complain about these men being too soft. Y'all complain about these men not taking care of business. You complain about these men not being protectors, not taking care of their health. Look, you go to the gym and you see women outlifting men. Y'all are complaining about these things, but then pushing men to become more feminine, and the silly ass men are accepting it. We are living in weird times. Men are being convinced to either be feminine men or to just be women. And we're seeing it show up in every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives, we're seeing it. This is cowardly, weird, cringe, like everything.
For women, for children, for the hundreds.
Listen to this.
How are you doing? If you watch the show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Oh my God.
For healthcare.
Yo, oh my God. Oh my God. Did you hear that? Listen to my man's voice crack.
Terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For healthcare.
For hundreds of thousands of immigrants that make this country go. This is bad. We're living on bad times. Maybe somebody should tell these comedians to shut up and dribble. Shut up and tell jokes. We don't need, if you can't handle politics, if you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen. You can't handle it. You're not built for this. You're not built for this. If Kamala Harris would have won, I would have been coming on here the same energy. It doesn't matter. I know that the only person that matters for my success is me and how I move, decisions. Life is all about decisions. If Kamala would have won, I would have, what can I take advantage of? What can I do that's going to benefit me? Okay, they got this housing. We were looking for a crib. All right, boom. Let me see if that makes sense to use that 25K. Okay, boom. Okay, she's giving new businesses 50% write-off. Okay, boom. Maybe I need to start a new business, start a new LLC. Boom, take advantage of that 50. I could write off that 50. Like, it's all good. Now, from a cultural standpoint, I would have been frustrated, but I wouldn't have let y'all see it. I would have just said it, and I would have done exactly what Queez tells us every show. I would have just been the change, be the change. If I want to see change in the world, I'd be the change. Maybe if I have kids, then I would have had to tell be a little bit more hands-on with my kids. Or maybe I would have made a decision and said, you know what? I think I want my kids being raised in Florida instead of Jersey. Maybe I would have said that once I eventually had them. I don't know, but you adapt, you make decisions. It is what it is. That's the play that we were given. We run the play. We figure it out. This is just bad. And you know what's so crazy? Men like this are going to be celebrated. Oh, we appreciate you being able to be so vulnerable and willing to cry and, willing to show your emotions and stuff. This is going to be celebrated. So now what do you think that's going to do to the next generation?
Here for our climate. It was a terrible night for poor people, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Said he would be a dictator on day one. The question now is, what will the rest of us be doing?
And see, this is the arrogant perspective that these Democrats and liberals have that we are not buying into, that they are too arrogant to even care. Listen to what he just said.
for healthcare, for our climate. It was a terrible night for poor people,
Listen to this part.
for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO. And guess what? It was a
Hold on. First off, he said for our allies in Ukraine. First off, Zelensky congratulated him with the extraness. There's a whole lot of people. If you look at the people that congratulated and are static about Trump being in office, y'all tried to call him Hitler, but did you see what Netanyahu had to say about Trump? So you're calling Trump Hitler, the person that is responsible for the death of millions of Jews, right? Right? And now Trump wins. The person that y'all call Hitler, you call his party the Nazis. And now Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, is celebrating and ecstatic that Donald Trump won. Not only, matter of fact, we may play some of these other videos. Not only is Israel ecstatic, but I'm seeing reports that, and I saw a couple different videos of interviews in Gaza where the people in Gaza are ecstatic. And I'm not talking about people in Gaza that are in leadership positions. I'm talking about they were interviewing people in Gaza in the villages, on the streets. I don't know if village is the right word, on the streets. In their cities. And the people in Gaza, there's one gentleman in particular that I can recall. He was saying that Trump is a businessman. And Trump understands that. And he said, and businessmen, they don't want war. They want to make money. They don't want wars. That's what somebody, I don't want to say random, but just a random person in the city of Gaza said. Everybody on both sides. Now, I'm hearing, I believe Donald Trump Jr. put out now Hamas is open to a peace treaty. Now we'll see what happens with now Zelensky. I just told y'all with Ukraine, he's saying that it's a bad day for Ukraine. Zelensky's actually excited that Donald Trump is president. Or maybe he's just saying it, right? Maybe he's just saying that and doesn't really mean it. Well, maybe he was just saying certain things when Kamala and Joe Biden were in office that he didn't really mean. Or maybe he was getting pressured to say these things to continue this war that he's realizing has run its course for a very long time. They're losing a lot of soldiers, right? And maybe he's tired of engaging in this money laundering activities by the United States and the establishment. Maybe he's getting a little bit tired of that. Maybe he's finally starting to have a moral compass and a certain level of integrity where the value of his people dying in his country is not worth the money that he's going to make from money laundering for the United States, allegedly, right? I got to say allegedly. Let's keep going. Listen to the last part of what he says, because that's what I really rewinded it for. When he says it's a bad night for people that voted for Trump, they just don't know it yet.
Allies in Ukraine, for God. NATO, and guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him too. You just don't realize it yet.
Said he would be.
You just don't realize it yet. This is the insulting arrogance that these Democrats and liberals lead with, and this is why they were disconnected with the people and lost the election. You think it's okay to tell a group of people that doesn't see the world the way that you see that, oh, you're just too dumb to see it the way that I'm seeing it yet. You're just too dumb. You're not smart enough to, eventually you'll see it. You're just not smart enough to see it as early as we see it. This has been the energy of the Democratic Party, and this is why they're losing voters. This is one of the reasons why they're losing voters. Another one of the reasons why they're losing voters is because people are looking at Jimmy Kimmel. People are looking at whoever, Colbert. They're looking at these type of men, and young men are looking at them and saying, I don't want to be like that. That doesn't seem very manly. That's not really what my dad and mom raised me to be. Why would I try to digress?
Be a dictator on day one. The question now is, what will the rest of us be doing on day one? Right? Now's the time to stand in solidarity with our friends, with our neighbors.
Well, it happened.
Show the black guy.
Again. And in this democracy, the majority has spoken, and they said they don't care that much about democracy. The first time.
So he's saying that because it didn't go his way, because my candidate didn't win, then y'all just don't care about democracy. So I'm going to take my ball. I just lost the game at the park, and I'm the one that brought the basketball there. I'm the one that brought the football. Because I lost, because my team lost, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. This is the energy that these men are on.
Donald Trump was elected, he started as a joke and ended as a tragedy. This time he starts as a tragedy. Who knows what he'll end as?
Y'all are so lucky that Donald Trump, this January 6th situation happened. Y'all are so lucky. So lucky. Because if this January 6th situation didn't happen, I do not know what people would be saying. I don't know what these liberals, I don't know what these Democrats would be saying. What would you be standing on? That's the only thing I ever hear. Oh, January 6th, he said he's going to be a dictator on day one. Well, I guess before day one, it seems like he's already having a positive impact throughout the world that I think everybody should acknowledge. Because what's going to happen? Let me ask y'all this question. What's going to happen when he gives RFK a role and they destroy the FDA and the Food and Drug Administration and start to implement healthier policies, start to inform us about the things that we're putting in our body, start to call out Big Pharma and the Food and Drug Administration for working together to try to get us as sick as possible so they can get rich as possible? Are y'all going to give credit to Trump for that? What's going to happen if we pull out of these wars? If we create peace treaties or something, a resolution between Israel and Palestine, a resolution between Ukraine and Russia? Are you going to give Trump credit for that? What's going to happen when I look at my stocks? Hold on. Didn't look at them yet today. Shame on me. And it's up significantly from the afternoon or the evening when it was looking like Trump was going to win. Stocks are booming. Check your 401k. Booming. What's going to happen when the price of goods come down? If they come down, are you guys going to give Trump credit? Are all the people that are losing their ish about Donald Trump putting us in? Matter of fact, what if Donald Trump just doesn't put us in chains and shackles? Are you going to give him credit for that? Because we were hearing a lot about that, right? If Donald Trump does not embrace Project 2025, are you going to then give him credit for that? Are you going to then look at these Democrats and get upset with them for trying and trying and trying to try to convince us that Donald Trump was going to implement Project 2025? Are you going to be upset with your own party? What's going to happen? I'm just asking. Is there anything, if Trump has a good score, are you going to give him credit for that as a president? Or are you just going to be stuck in your feelings, too emotional, too emasculated and overly feminized to the point where I'm not going to admit it? You ever try to, Ladies, I'm just keeping it real. Y'all know what I'm saying is true. Fellas, do you think that it's, you know how hard it is to get a woman to admit that she's wrong? So are you going to admit that you're wrong? And that's why I say it's overly feminized, emasculated energy. What a man should be doing, moving logical. Understand, I was wrong in this. Now I'm acknowledging it. Simple. Call it as it is. So I'm just asking y'all, are you going to acknowledge if Trump comes in and implements policies that are good for us? When Trump stops the border crisis, if he does, gotta put up an if. Are you going to give him credit for that? If Trump comes in and does the things that y'all all said that he wouldn't, you said that he wouldn't be a unity party, right? He wouldn't be a unity president that would unite the country. If Trump comes in, because this is my prediction, he's going to not only pardon, he's going to pardon Hunter Biden. He's going to pardon Hunter Biden. Him and Joe Biden going to be playing golf together to kind of cement the unity coming together. I really have this vision in my head. He's definitely pardoning Hunter Biden, in my opinion. So when he does all these things to bring the country together, are you going to be the person that's fighting it? Or are you going to be the person that's embracing the fact that, hey, I may have been wrong on a lot of these things. I may have been propagandized with a lot of these things. Let's keep going.
Any comforting words for them, Piers?
Just get over yourselves. Honestly, it's so pathetic watching grown men weep, because actually the real reason they're weeping is that they know they've spent years over-demonizing Trump as the new Hitler, and he's going to wreck everything and wreck America. He's terrible. He's a fascist. He's a neo-Nazi, blah, 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 blah. And what happened this week? America, having already seen Trump as president for 4 years, and seen 4 years of what then followed under Biden and Harris, they went out in record numbers, white, black, Latino, men, women, all demographics, and they voted for apparently the new Hitler. In other words, they didn't believe a word of what these guys were saying. And I would say further, Megyn, what the hell happened in late night in America? When Johnny Carson was the king of late night, nobody knew who he voted for. Nobody knew. He made a point of mocking both sides. Jay Leno said yesterday, he said, I don't like Trump, but it was a great week for democracy. And salute to Jay Leno. I interviewed him last year about this. He doesn't understand why these late night guys want to be so obviously partisan. Why? And they're all partisan one way. And there's a reason why Greg Gutfeld is kicking all their backsides in late night on Fox. And
all right, so y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. All right, let's move on to, hold on. I want to show y'all, we were going to go to Letitia James, but hold on. Let's do this Philly DNC, what the Philly DNC had to say first. Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.